This episode of the podcast is brought to you by First United Land Transfer. Enjoy the conversation.
Hello, everybody. George Lair here from First United Land Transfer, and I have the honor of hanging out virtually with a very good friend of mine from our younger years, Jesse Werkheiser. Jesse, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
George, very nice to see you, sir. Well wishes to you and your family and your coworkers.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Jesse. So those of you who don't know Jesse's been around for quite some time, a Marine Corps veteran, and he has actually been in the security industry for as long as I could remember. I'm thinking a good 20 years, maybe more.
Yeah,
but it's something that you did right out of the Marine Corps. But lately, you actually are a district manager working for one of the largest manufacturer of security gadgets. Am I safe to say maybe in the United States or in the world?
In the world.
In the world.
One of the largest security manufacturers in the world, as well as distribution centers. So we have a line of distributors out there as well.
That is impressive. A lot of hard work, a lot of determination, and most importantly, the fact that you have never been known to give up. You always persevere, and you know, you're one of the most positive people that I have ever met, which is such a blessing and an honor. Because not only do you motivate yourself and find yourself, find the energy to keep motivating yourself, but others as well.
I appreciate that. I'm everlasting working on my degree and experience, but I am also a student of the game as well. So I never stop learning out there. But I've been around the block for a little bit, but it's just nice to get out there and talk to these business owners nowadays and see what they're doing out there and listen to how they're succeeding or listen to how they previously failed in the past. We all go through these ups and downs, and just growing and learning. And again, sitting down with business owners and just taking everything I can out of every single meeting I go to. And I tend to talk to well over 1,000 security companies in the tri-state area. So, and as you know, everybody has a different story. So it's very humbling, and it's quite an experience.
So Jesse, you work with anywhere between, large corporate accounts to your mom and pop shops and, people who are actually self-employed. Jesse, how is business going in your industry right now? And what is one of the things that is keeping some people afloat and some people not?
Great question. So absolutely. I tend to work with businesses who are a one-man show. Mm-hmm. And some of my larger end customers have 100 employees. So I sit down and I talk with these people. One thing that we tend to start our conversations off with is something that we all have in common. One thing that we all have in common is time.
Yeah.
So we all have time in common. So we immediately jump into time and how we're managing this time and this crisis that we're in. And topic of conversations tends to, how were you doing 3 months ago? Mm-hmm. How were you managing your time back then? And how are things happening right now? Like, what's happening with you right now? Because how you managed it back then is going to implement your strategies and your efforts and your work loads right now. So you're gonna.
Yeah, that's really good. And you know what? I couldn't agree with you more. Time management is such a big thing for all industries, right? If you want to be successful, you actually want to make sure that you have a plan. And there was a saying. What is it? We don't plan to fail. We fail to plan. Right. So, and I think that's actually kind of where you're coming from, right? Where you were 3 months ago and how you actually planned is what is going to get you through for the next 3 months. But you have to be proactive and just continue to plan for, and adhere
Right.
to the things that keep, because everything keeps changing,
Right.
except
And so,
for
so to go back to your initial question, though, so what I'm seeing out there is some guys are doing really well. Some guys are fighting the fight,
right.
and they're grinding through this. Some of the other guys that, some of the smaller guys, maybe the less experienced, are definitely hitting a bumpy road. And, as everyone is, we're all falling on some tough times here. But,
Of course.
the security and real estate industries out there, they're so binded together in terms of, our work ethic and how we communicate with the civilian life out there, how we affiliate with our communities. So,
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
yeah, definitely seeing some companies that are going, that are doing okay and doing well with this. But yeah, some companies out there are definitely struggling and hitting some tough times out there.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, our goals, both yours and your industry, and the real estate agents and settlement agents in our industry, and loan officers, of course, the ultimate goal is to provide great service to our clients. Make sure that we have their best interest in mind. And obviously, you sell security, you sell protection, you sell obviously to the as a manufacturer to companies, but products that help people feel a little bit more at ease when they're at home, or
Right.
when they go away from home.
Right.
I remember.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's the world out there, securing your assets. So a realtor comes in, and a realtor will help you make the biggest investment in your life.
Yeah, indeed.
Purchasing your home.
Right.
So how can I say? So a life savings. So a realtor, the personal relationship that one would have with a person, and a realtor, the intimate relationship. A realtor knows everything about you. They have to know everything about you because they're doing your credit checks. They need to know what type of all information about your family,
right?
Because all of this is going to the type of home that you're going to purchase. So,
right, indeed.
So now you make this huge investment. Well, now the whole idea is for your family. You want to protect your family. The very next thing you do is now you need to protect that investment.
Indeed.
So now this is where security comes into play. So sitting down with some of my security customers out there nowadays, I definitely emphasize to keep your connections open, especially now during this downtime that we have. So
what do you mean by that?
So continue to network with your contacts.
Yes.
I think networking right now is vital. If you should have downtime. So again, some of the guys out there are staying busy, but if you should have some downtime, make sure you're constantly on the phone and pumping out phone calls to your network. So again, the realtors out there. So realtors have such a big network group. Your realtors have your insurance agents. They
right.
have your title companies. They have your
inspection companies, right? Pest inspection companies, a little bit of everything. So, real estate agents are, for the most part, very well connected in the community. But, at the same time, they're the ones, like you said, that really have to get together and kind of gather information. They wear many hats, which is pretty cool, right? Mm-hmm. So more so than others. And, I agree that, this is the time to actually go out and reach out to your loved ones first and foremost, right?
Right.
Your family. But, your circle of influence, the 5 closest people in that circle. And then, the people who you've done business with in the past, whether, somebody that you've sold something to,
right.
Hey, how are you? How's everything going? How's your family? How's little Bobby, little Jane, little Billy? How's the family? How's the dog? hopefully, it's a great time to actually get intimate with someone at a level where, hey, maybe you didn't know that they just had a kid, right?
Right.
Maybe they outgrew their house, their car. If you're in a car industry, doesn't matter what industry you're in, it's a great time to actually reach out and just show people that you do care, that you do, that you're there for them, even during these hard times.
Respark that flame, respark that conversation, because as everything else, we grow in life.
Right.
Situations are evolving drastically, daily, monthly, yearly. So there's always something new.
Indeed.
But yeah, reaching out and touching somebody, you're gonna find out something new about them, and whether or not you can benefit from it, or you could turn around and pass it along to somebody else and start connecting the dots. So, but still maintaining that relationship that you've created from the get-go. So, I sold a house 3 years ago and ironically, the realtor from back then just checked in with me probably about a week ago, just to
That's
check.
pretty awesome.
Hi, how are things going? How's things holding up for you over there? So, those bonds that we create with the professionals out there, they're never going to go away.
They shouldn't.
Right. From a security standpoint, so a security guy comes in. Maybe he got the lead from a realtor. So a security guy comes in. He has his network of the HVAC guys, of
right.
your low voltage guys, your carpenters, your plumbers. So nowadays in the security world, all of this technology is kind of fallen into the security industry's lap in terms of connected home.
Right.
So,
oh yeah.
Nowadays, when somebody wants to open up their phone app and arm and disarm their system, they want to see what their kids are doing, keep an eye on the pets. They want to lock and unlock their door.
Right.
They want to see who's at their front door via a smart doorbell system.
Right.
They want to control their lights. They want to know if there's a leak in the basement of their home when they're not home. So all of this can be done through your phone nowadays, through the technology that's out there. And it's all intertwined with your smart home alarm system. And it's all controllable from your phone apps. So
that's pretty impressive.
It's amazing, the technology out there. The world keeps evolving. The industry keeps evolving. So to have those connections with everybody in that, those professions, and just tie them in together. And now is a perfect time to be reaching out to everybody to see, what services you can provide each other, or if there's someone else that that needs one of their services, just to pass along that information.
Oh, indeed. And you know what? As a retailer for one of the biggest manufacturers of these security systems, I'm assuming that you actually get to try them out at home.
Man, so I actually had to turn off the doorbell notification, because all of my packages that come in, that start getting me in trouble. So I told the guy to stop ringing the doorbell. I can see, I get the motion. The package comes. Just let it there and walk away. Don't ring that doorbell, because then everyone knows about it and everyone sees it. So yeah, I definitely get to test out the product. I enjoy it. I'm a tech geek, so
yes, you have been, for sure.
And that's where the industry is going. Everybody nowadays, they want to be able to just to monitor and control their whole home from their phone.
So what's funny is that people are actually getting really big into this now. But if I could remember, I don't know how many years back. I mean, you had always been ahead of the game when it came to that. You introduced me to so many crazy things way back when.
It's always been a passion of mine, this industry and technology, and just trying to stay ahead of the curve and be prepared, because the questions are always going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how do we stay ahead of the game in these hard times.
So, I think first and foremost, just knowing what's going on with your surroundings, like
mm-hmm.
Especially in my industry, you need to know exactly what's going on around your home at all times. Your sanctuary, your private place, your investment. You need to know what's going on at all times. You need to know who's coming and going. you need to know what's being delivered. So I think the constant education part of it, so getting out there and educating companies out there, and then the companies will get out there and educate their clientele base, the customers, the consumer.
Yeah.
So the education process is first and foremost. So now there's many means of educating that you can do this, especially nowadays via Skype, Zoom, what we're doing. Obviously the internet, the technology that's out there.
Thank goodness for Skype.
Thank goodness.
Other apps like this, have made social distancing a lot easier, and communication with our clients, our loved ones are, I've heard of friends that actually had Easter dinner or Easter lunch, with their families. Everybody sat together at a table, but everybody was in a different state. Maybe one or two people together. They got a chance to visit with the grandparents, visit, and the parents, and everybody lived in either a different state or a different area. So, which is pretty amazing. And then the fact that you and I are actually able to do this and reach out and hopefully deliver this to many people, I think is so important. So I guess you mentioned keep it in touch, right?
And
being in front of people.
Yeah, what we're doing too. So from a corporate level, we are offering educational classes, live, interactive, online educational courses for our product and our software. So
to whom? Who could actually do these classes?
It's blasted out to all of our customer base, which is thousands of security companies and HVAC companies across the planet, so to speak. So, but it's nice for, during this downtime to be able to log on and take a technical course or a sales course, or, there's so many different courses that we are offering to kind of keep your tools sharpened, so to speak.
Oh, indeed.
It's nice to be able to log on and then interact live with the technician and get those questions answered that you may have had for a month now or a few months. So that's a beneficial trend or application that we've been implementing lately. We do have websites that offer YouTube videos and other technical training courses, and
that's nice.
Through sites, that
you can do it in your own time.
Some of our dealers and our professionals out there, they'll log on and they'll take some of their courses and they'll get an actual certificate of completion. So
very nice.
The corporate name on there.
So what kind of getting certified on specific products is what I'm assuming? Right. But it's funny you say that. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, right? Right now it's a good time to read, to learn something different. You yourself, nothing stops you from going out and actually working out. So first off, again, it's about keeping your mind sharp. So when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is I try to listen to something positive. Yes. They say that those first 10 to 15 minutes of your day are vital on how your day is going to turn out. I agree. So I definitely try to focus in on some positive motivational videos. Eric Thomas, Les Brown is a great motivational speaker. I like Les Brown for sure. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, he's really getting up there. His story is phenomenal. Steve Harvey. If you can prepare your mind for a great day, a great long day from the get-go, and for me, that's how I like to start my mornings that way. Get a good, do some exercise, get the blood flowing, kind of calm my mind, and just be ready for the day's battle, because you never know what the day's going to be like. It's going to be a messy one out there. So as long as you're prepared mentally to take on a challenge. I couldn't agree with you more. So Jesse, we were talking a while ago, and you mentioned something about the 5 C's. I had to cut you off because I had somewhere to go, but can you tell me what those 5 C's are and how they can help others? Sure. So it is something that I'm trying to get out there and push, as an organization. We're getting out there. We're trying to push this to security companies out there. It's the 5 C's essentially for success during the COVID-19 era, this unprecedented era that we're going through. Yeah, no kidding.
The first C would be commit to a COVID-19 plan that offers protection and policies for your employees and customers and make it detailed but easy to explain.
Indeed.
First and foremost, so we need to take care of our employees, and we need to make sure that they feel safe, they feel comfortable, and then we need to make it easy so they can understand it first and foremost. So
Right.
communication, second one, communicate is key.
Oh my goodness.
What I like about this one is, so communicate with your customers that you are an essential business and available to assist. So reference your commitment to their safety.
Right.
So majority of security companies out there are considered an essential business. You know, they're dealing with life safety and the security, you know, and so on and so forth, both from a commercial and residential standpoint. So
Very nice.
A third C would be continue to bring value to your customers. It's okay to sell solutions that bring value in this work from home environment.
Indeed.
So we're not going to stop just because of this unprecedented virus that comes out of nowhere that disrupts the whole planet. But we can't stop working. We got to keep grinding. We got to keep moving on.
We shouldn't stop. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. Conserve. So I like this one. You know, this one's definitely pretty important too. So, well, let me just bring that up. So, conserve cash. Conserve cash by implementing smart cost-cutting policies and apply for paycheck protection programs and other CARES Act stimulus offerings. So the government has a bunch of offerings out there and acts that are going on. So
that's great advice for a lot of these, you know, for any small business owner.
Right, absolutely. So we're definitely trying to, you know, push the word. But actually, the last one, which is my favorite one, and I think which resonates, you know, personally with me, is community. So community support is critical. If your business is slow, which many of them are, a business is slow, pivot to supporting the community. If you can't do business right now because of what's going on, then do good. One way or another, do good. Get out there within your community, get your business name out there, and communicate with the community, because that's your bread and butter is your own personal community, your communities. You know, can you imagine how many of our parents and our grandparents are out there that, you know, we don't want them outside. We don't want them out there doing stuff. So get out there, communicate with them. You have them as a customer, or one of your networks has these residents as customers, our seniors as their customers. Reach out to them, see if there's anything you can do for them.
Right.
Maybe cut their lawn, go grocery shopping for them. You know, a security guy reaching out, hey, by the way, Mrs. Smith, is there anything that I can do for you? You know, I know this, we don't want you going out. You know, is there anything I can assist with or help out with? Whether or not they need you or not, that initial phone call is going to go a long way. So
I agree. You know, it really fills your heart with joy when you get a phone call. The other day, you know, I was, maybe it was 3 weeks ago, you reached out to me out of the blue, you know, and I think this is when everything started happening, and you know, I was so focused on listening to all the negative things, and we had a nice conversation, and that conversation changed the way that I was feeling so much that I started running. I started, you know, going out, exercising. I got motivated to actually get out of my own head and reaching out to others. And it's easy sometimes to actually fall into a rut when you have so many people that are depending on you, and, you know, so many things. You're focused on how you're going to help others, and then you forget that you need to actually help yourself. And that's kind of what you taught me that day. You know, you need to actually keep yourself sharp in order to actually help others. And thank you for that, because since then, you know, I'm up to almost 4 miles.
I see that,
which is pretty nice. I'm, you know, out there running. It doesn't matter how cold, how, you know, you have to, the hardest part is showing up, like you said. And, you know, once you show up, you get there, whether it's, you know, your best 4 miles, or if you only put in a mile, you showed up. So
You
thank
know,
you.
a bad habit that we all tend to fall in is the good old word comfortable. You know, we all tend to fall into a comfort zone. You know, 3 months ago, everything was jolly. You know, the economy was booming. You know, there was no virus. Everyone was out. Life was normal. Everybody was doing well. So when business tends to do well, I notice out there that a lot of people, they tend to become comfortable. Now, I try to preach this. I preach it to my kids and everyone else that I sit down and talk to. Listen, try not to become comfortable. When you're not comfortable, then you're going to stay on point and you're going to keep your mind sharp. So when you get comfortable, then the L word comes along, the lazy word comes along.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah, and one thing that's out there, one thing for sure that you can bet your bottom dollar on is there's always going to be someone out there that's more hungry than you are. So the second that you put your guard down and you start getting comfortable, that other person out there, he's not going to bed at 9, 10 o'clock. He's staying up past midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Hustling.
With the wheels turning. He's writing his notes down. He's grinding it out in his head on how he's going to succeed. He's up at 4 o'clock in the morning running and doing this and doing that. You know, his sole objective is to beat you in business, is to compete against you in business. So those that tend to get comfortable, they tend to slow down, put the guard down, and get lazy.
So that was almost like listening to you talking about yourself in the third person, because you know you're up early in the morning, you go to bed at night, you have a little pad that you write your ideas down. You know, if you wake up in the middle of the night, you know, so that's pretty that's great information that you shared. So. But Jesse, man, I can't thank you enough for spending time with me here today. It's always an honor. Thank you for the motivation. Thank you for the kind words. And, you know, most importantly, thank you for reaching out to people, motivating them, you know, fueling them. And I know that you get a lot out of that. Thank you for supporting our local police. I know you do that very often. Our local firefighters and our local EMTs and nurses. So I know you always have done a lot for those groups. And you know, as a veteran, thank you for your service.
My pleasure, George. I thank you for your service too. And if I can close and emphasize on one thing, is just time management. Get out there and manage our time. What's going on right now is a great way to get out there and change your daily routine. Reach out to your firefighters, your police departments out there. Maybe provide lunch. You know, what a great deed that would be to drop by the firehouse.
Yes.
With sandwiches and a couple of drinks just to show some support for these guys. So George, I thank you for your time. Thank you for reaching out. I wish you, your family, well-beings, well-safeness out there, your team. And I hope we can all get through this in the very near future. I'm sure we will.
Yes, we will.
All right,
Thank you again, Jesse.
God bless. Take care.
And you. Thank you.